Time for a midsummer coffee chat. Let's take the porch swing and have a chat. Good morning, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. Excuse the smoke. We have a lot of wildfires that have been ignited around us. We had a lightning storm last night, and we're expecting another lightning storm tonight and another one tomorrow. Yippee-ki-yay. Although helicopter's been flying by with their water buckets dangling, and they're doing a valiant attempt at getting these wildfires subdued. This is the price you pay for living in the wilderness on a homestead. I have another video that'll be launching here pretty quick in the next couple of days on homesteading and fire danger. So anyway, Cynthia was viewing, she's a new YouTube channel, Pine Meadows Hobby Farm channel viewer, and she stumbled across my channel on how to buy property for cheap. So she asked me a couple of questions, and the best I could do is just answer her verbally through this video coffee porch swing chat. So this is for you, Cindy. She mentions that she has purchased some acreage, and she would like to know if she should be in the market for another acreage, something bigger or whatever. Well, the best I can answer you is do what you personally feel that you think you need, and how much do you have ambition for. Are you ambitious enough to take care of more property? I know my limitations, and my limitations being financial as well as health. And so the financial aspect of it dictated what I purchased and how I purchased it. That's how come I produced that video on how I purchased property for cheap. And I lived it. And so I was able to go on YouTube and present a YouTube video and share my personal experience on how I purchased property in an unconventional way. So any of you who are looking for property, go back and view that video, or even the series on how I started a homestead on a budget series. That gives you some detailed information on how I started. The actual homestead portion that I am working and using is probably nothing more than maybe a half acre is what I'm using. I don't have goats yet. I plan to buy goats, and then I'll be using probably a whole acre, an entire acre. But as far as the home site itself goes, the little orchard I'm developing along with the garden, and the garden will be expanded, and also my outbuildings, the goat barn, the duck pen and shed, including the well house, the chicken coop, and the rabbit barn, and also my bee yard. They don't encompass any more than maybe a half acre at the most. More like a quarter acre. So my answer to you is do what you feel ambitious enough to do. I know a lot of people are growing a massive amount of produce on a urban lot. One example is Urban Homestead lives in LA, and they have just a little city lot, but they're able to grow such an abundance of produce. Also, Curtis Stone, an urban farmer up out of Kelowna, British Columbia, where my brother lives, he is able to produce so much on that little quarter acre that he has, that he's making upwards of 125,000 a year just producing and selling his produce. So it depends on what you have ambitions to do, on what you want to do with your land. Ideally, I don't plan to produce anything huge, just enough to sustain myself, my family, my extended family, and my friends, and any abundance I could sell or donate to the food bank, which is what we did before up on our other places. We grew such an abundance out of a 50-foot by 100-foot garden. I produced so much, I ended up taking trunk loads down to the food bank. So there's an idea on how much food you can grow just from a garden 50 foot by 100 foot. If it's well planned. There's other folks who are doing great on, as demonstrated on their YouTube channels, like Edible Acre is another one. The Quarter Acre Homestead, Big Family Homestead, even though he just recently moved. Yesterday, I think he moved to Minnesota to more acreage. I think he's got 30 acres now, but his old videos, you can glean a lot from Brad and his family. They're on Big Family Homestead. Dirt Patch Heaven is doing a great job at producing for her family on very little space and doing with very little. So check out their homestead sites. There's a lot of YouTubers who I consider experts because they're living it. They're not just talking about it, they're actually showing you and demonstrating how they're doing it, which is great, and I consider them experts because they're experienced at what they're doing, and they're doing it year in and year out, and helping us, other homesteaders, trying to be successful. What kind of livestock do you want? If you want to raise cows, I know in different parts of the country you're allowed to have so many cows per acre, and you want to pay attention to that. Rabbits you can raise virtually anywhere. They're quiet, they're really easy to keep. I've heard of some people raising rabbits in a closet and actually processing them in their bathtubs. So there's a source of protein and living in an urban environment. Chickens, if you just have hens, they'll produce eggs. They won't crow like the roosters. I know some areas have noise control ordinances, so you really want to pay attention to the ordinances in your area and find out what you can grow. I know Brad and Krista at Big Family Homestead ran into problems with as far as ordinances and codes go, so they were able to relocate to some place where they can have their homestead and also have the livestock that they have. Myself, I have a pond, which is one of the features on my property. I have 3 seasonal cricks. Even though I do have a 40-gallon-a-minute well, I have to keep my pond filled for the sake of the ducks. There's frogs and turtles in the pond, as well as some little mosquito fish I put in there to keep the mosquito larvae at bay. We have to fill the pond, and I think now with it being so dry and hot and the pond naturally seeps into the soil, I have to run the hose about 6 hours a week to keep and maintain a full level on that pond. Think about the livestock you want to raise. I personally raise the rabbits. I built the rabbit barn. I call it the bunny bungalow because I'm an artistic kind of person and I just like to do things like that. I paint all my outbuildings and the roofs and I make them aesthetically pleasing to the eye for myself and my wife, and it also looks good on camera. The primary reason why I built the bunny bungalow is because I was struggling with hauling warm water up every winter throughout the winters to the rabbits to keep them watered, because the water bottles will freeze. And also cooling them in the summer is just it's a huge chore. Rabbits by nature will burrow into the ground, and of course your ground will keep them at a moderate temperature and keep them safe and cool. However, caged rabbits don't have that luxury and benefit. So I built the bunny bungalow to help maintain their temperature in their environment. It keeps the water bottles from freezing, so I no longer have to haul water up. I just have a little garden hose up there that I fill their container up periodically, and they have water summer and winter. I just recently installed a air conditioner to keep them cool in the summer times, and I don't have to haul ice jugs up there anymore. Yay! Virtually almost every single homestead has a chicken coop. I designed my chicken coop so it'll be easy to clean. As I'm getting older, it was actually featured in a magazine and went out, circulated all over the world, and my chicken coop became world famous. And now I'm seeing my design crop up all over the place. A local builder here is actually building chicken coops patterned after my design and selling them. Wow. Anyway, a chicken coop can be a great source of protein through the dispatching of your chickens and eating them, and also the eggs, gleaning eggs from them. You can also sell your eggs and sell your chicks after incubation, and you can have a little bit of an income through them. So chickens are really good, all around beneficial to the farm. You let them free range, they also take care of all the bugs, mice, and snake problems for you. Ducks, well, I've always had ducks since I was a little kid. I've always been fond of ducks. So I'm up to 8 ducks. 5 of them are going to be processed and put in the freezer. I'm up to so many geese because we had a successful hatch this year. We are going to be processing some geese as well. I'm maintaining a level of breeding trios, 1 male and 2 females on each. And adding goats primarily for, not necessarily for meat, but more for milk and the products of milk. So I can make my cheeses and butters and creams and lotions and soaps from goat's milk. I'm choosing the Nubian breed because they're higher in buttermilk fat content, so that's why primarily I'm choosing them. Plus, being a big animal, they're pretty good for providing a lot of meat when you do end up having to butcher them. I'll have 2 acres for them to forage on, and I'll be cross-fencing those, so I'll be rotating my fields as far as rotating the goats a week in one paddock to a week in another paddock, keep going so they don't completely decimate the land. I am trying to live frugally and on a budget here. So I hope this all answers your questions, Christy. Check out my list of other videos I have on homesteading that I've done, like building my infrastructure, the goat barn, the quack shack, the bunny bungalow, the chicken coop, the well house, and even installing the manufactured home and how I bought it for cheap from a private party. And just as a side hobby, I added bees. I'm enjoying the bees. They're pretty cool. And of course there's the greenhouse and the garden to be able to produce vegetables for us year round. I got honeybees over here looking for nectar or pollen. Nothing here, ladies. Alright, I'm Jerry Hansen, your host here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I want to thank you guys for coming and joining me on my little porch swing chat and having a cup of coffee with me. You can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Reddit. Please subscribe, share my videos. It really helps the channel out immensely. And also, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Doesn't make any difference. Thumbs up and thumbs down only means an encounter. That's all that Google Analytics looks at it as. And both thumbs up and thumbs down actually benefit me financially, because the more interaction I have through comments, thumbs up, thumbs down, and shares, the better quality of advertisers I get. We'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye.